Hey everyone, Tony D and Little Joan here on a Piney podcast. Let's get into it. Lots to report today. 300 new beer virus cases and 8 deaths. The transmission rate held steady at 1.06. And let's see. Yeah, so I don't know if those 8 deaths were all today or not. Who knows? Who knows with these people? But the big news is Governor Murphy, Tyrant Phil Murphy, announced $37 million in CARES Act funding for 12 counties. Again, all part of the plan to pass out federal money when states just kind of waste their money on stupid things like contact tracers that don't do any good, in my view. Meanwhile, if you'd like to go to a restaurant, Philadelphia will be happy to oblige now. They'll allow indoor dining, movie theaters, and performing arts venues to restart. LaSalle moves to a virtual fall semester, citing case trends and parties. Yeah, good luck. Good luck keeping college parties to nothing. So, hooray! So finally, I can go to a damn restaurant, Murphy. It's a shame I got to give my money to Pennsylvania, another poorly run state by a Democrat. But what are you going to do? I got to get my sushi somewhere. Perhaps Philadelphia will have restaurants that survive this mess, as opposed to New Jersey that's already lost 30%. And if you're sick of the beer virus, here's an interesting op-ed. This is from New Jersey 101.5 by Bill, I think it's pronounced Spadia. Time to end New Jersey's rampant beer virus testing. It says, enough already. The pandemic peaked and subsided in April. That's not a political opinion. That's based on a steady decline of hospitalization and deaths, something called a fact that seems to elude public officials these days. What's interesting about the April peak is that it happened in areas that remained open, like Sweden, and in the areas closed up and enforced stay-at-home orders like New Jersey and New York. This is a short thread about herd immunity. And you can see Sweden is the red line and New York State is the blue line. New Jersey not on there, but you get the idea. And he goes through and says, remember 15 days to slow the spread. Yeah, that's all it was supposed to be, 15 days. And it turned into this nightmare. So, anywho, yeah, people are starting to get pissed off. And Murphy will pay the political price. It's too late now. I mean, he could keep us locked down all the way to November or uncork the genie right now. It's not going to matter. People have lost their jobs, their houses, their businesses, and it's all coming back to Murphy. And continuing with woke culture in New Jersey, it seeps in, and here it seems to be seeping into the Burlington County Times, the Courier Post, and the Daily Journal, because they announce having a diverse newsroom is critical to telling stories about South Jersey. Here's a look at our staff. You know what I think's critical to having telling stories about South Jersey? People who are good reporters. Because people who are good reporters can find out any news story, right? So what this all implies, this whole diversity inclusion nonsense, and the first line is, for Courier Post, Burlington County Times, and Daily Journal to succeed, we must have an inclusive, diverse workplace where employees are valued and feel empowered. That's not the same thing. A place where employees are valued and feel empowered, yeah, that's fine. Inclusive and diverse has nothing to do with that. We all know what that means. It means like, well, we can't have too many people of the same skin color or else, what this all implies is that only people of certain color can report on certain stories in certain regions of South Jersey. It's just not true. Doesn't matter what race you are. If you're a good reporter, you can find the story. You can find the voice. You could find it in anything and anyone. It's about merit. It's not about race. Stop adopting this woke stuff. Get woke, go broke, Burlington County Times. Remember that. When you go broke, Courier Post and Daily Journal. Continuing. Speaking of news, authorities are investigating a double homicide in Glassboro. It's a little scary for me because I live not too far from there. The cause of death, gunshots. So, man, 2 people got whacked on August 19th. That was yesterday. So, I don't want to, get into the details. If you want to look it up, you can see it yourself. But kind of scary. No word on what exactly, caused the murder. Whether it was, some kind of drug deal gone bad, or it's just some kind of home invasion. You don't know. You don't know. So be on the lookout, South Jersey. Lock your doors. Rite Aid is preparing for flu season. Flu shots now available. I think flu season is actually going to be pretty mild this year because everybody's wearing a mask. People are social distancing. They're cleaning up more. They're washing their hands. I think we're going to have a very mild flu season. I mean, for everything. So, I was planning on getting a flu shot this year, and now I'm really rethinking it. I really am. And this would have been the first year for me to get a flu shot. Now I'm like, I don't know. Now that I've read so much about flu shots and that they're only 50% effective, and you can't get sick from it, but there's a study that shows that the flu is actually getting worse, even though we have flu shots. That may not have anything to do with it really, except that, the viruses always survive, and each virus generation that survives, it evolves. It evolves to fight the vaccine better and better and better with each generation of virus. So maybe I'll get one. I don't know. It's a little early. I guess maybe not. 2 weeks. We'll be in September. So who knows? I'm not in a gig where I'm worried about that anymore. Back when I was substitute teaching, I was like, oh man, I should have got a flu shot because I was getting sick all the time from the little monsters at school. And here's another crazy story. A South Jersey woman who killed her wife and dug her grave in the backyard, sentenced to 15 years in prison. That seems a little light. And I reached my article limit, so I guess I can't read it, Philadelphia Inquirer. But oh well, that's crazy. 15 years seems awfully light to kill your wife and bury her in the backyard, doesn't it? Doesn't that seem like a light? Shouldn't it be like 20 years? Isn't it normally 20 years for murder? I don't know. Maybe there's extenuating circumstances. Who knows? But, doesn't matter who you are. I think we all know marriage sucks. But don't kill your spouse is what I would say. But at least I got to read the Philadelphia Inquirer article about getting the indoor dining back. Oh, I'm so excited about that. The only thing I don't want to do is go to Philadelphia because, it's become one of those cities. But give it a few weeks. Hopefully things will be back to more normal. I can't see it going back to normal for a while, but at least they're heading in the direction of normality, which seems nice. And this is important to South Jersey because Philly's, just across the river. And sometimes, South Jersey, you want to go to the city, you go to Philly. In North Jersey, when you say the city, you're talking about New York. But down in South Jersey, when you say, I go to the city, you're talking about Philadelphia. So just a little insight to what it's like to live in a state that's basically one giant suburb.